So guess what? I'm out here recording this video, getting bit by mosquitoes. And I don't even want to be recording this video, but I set a goal to record some videos. The reason it's tough for me though is because my life is getting pretty nice, to be honest. I wouldn't say that anything fancy or different has happened to me besides just putting in some hard work to increase my health, to increase my strength, and to do a better job sacrificing and being a good husband and father. And so with all that work that I've put in, and it was a ton of work on me mainly, but also growing my community with my family and friends as well. So I don't want to be out here because I'd rather be in there hanging out with them because I'm having fun. It seems like I'm not having fun right now maybe, but that's because I'm out here talking to a phone. If it were just me and I didn't see lots of men out there struggling, I mean, I walk around, I'll go hang out, I'll see people out and about, and it feels like there are a lot of people struggling. And it feels like there are resources out there to help with some of the things, but it doesn't feel right holistically for what kind of just a modern, good man, manly person would look like. Manly man would look like. And so because I've gone on a health journey in the last year, a pretty positive one. Previous health journeys I've been on, I've beat myself up a lot, but this one I didn't. And I got healthy. Spent about a year doing that, just eating right, getting my brain working well, and then doing a lot of research along the way. So that's part of the process. I mean, everyone's different. You have to choose what works for you. And I'm obviously no health person to provide any kind of advice on that. I mean, I could tell you if you were an exact clone of me, I could probably give you some advice. But other than that, you're going to have to go on your own health journey, figure out what you need to do. There are probably some aisles in the grocery store, like all the middle ones, that you should avoid due to a certain couple of ingredients that pop up at the top of most of those ingredients lists. You can figure that out on your own, but do your own research, figure that out. You've got to get healthy. You've got to get your brain working, or you're just going to get sucked into whatever somebody else wants you to get sucked into. You're never going to figure anything out for yourself if you are drugged on even food. I can't imagine what it's like to be on actual, drugs that are recognized, as normal, whatever drugs. I feel very humble that my addiction was fairly easy to overcome, and that was, food, sugar, I'll say. So that was me on getting my brain working. And then I'm a few months into working out pretty hard, 5 days a week. And that has been a whole new level of fun. Along with the nutrition, I've learned about a lot of micronutrients. And of course, you've got your macros, but a lot of people miss out on, other ingredients that your cells need to make things happen within your body. So you can't just go out there and eat any old thing. You have to pay attention to what your body needs. Probably get them from Whole Foods instead of trying to take supplements, but you'll need to, again, do your research. I know what worked for me. I know what food I like to eat over and over again. I know what I could make work for my schedule, my life, etc. You'll have to do your own research and figure that out. But what it nets you is a life that makes it where previously I would have loved to have made a YouTube video. It would have made me feel very fulfilled to just be out there creating something. But now I would so rather be in my life that I feel like I just want to walk away from online. I'm talking YouTube is about the only thing I even look at anymore. I mean, I don't go on Facebook. I don't go on anything. And I don't really even watch TV. I just want to be in my life, hanging out with my family, hanging out with my friends, working around my house. And I would be happy as a clam. But I know that I am feeling some major gains and some major wins, and I look around me and I see people who are not experiencing those same wins. In fact, it seems like crisis mode for many, many, many men. And I speak to men because I am a man and I know what it took to get me out here and performing, doing better. And so I will only speak to that. I can't speak to anyone else's journey. I'll just speak to what I know, and I think that that lines up, at least from what I see, with what a lot of men need, is just some advice on how to live as a modern man in a modern world where we don't have to necessarily go out and kill food. So what do we do to feel that need to sacrifice? We don't necessarily, hopefully it stays this way, need to go out and fight enemies. You know, we used to be tribal, used to fight each other, and it was a man's role to go out there and make that sacrifice. So how do we make that same sacrifice in our modern culture? And so I have set a goal to come out and speak to this camera so that I can get the message out of what worked for me. And so I am doing that. I'm trying as hard as I can. That's a lie. I'm not trying hard to get out here. I'm trying as hard as I can to stay in my house and enjoy myself and stay in my yard and go visit my friends and work out and all that, hang out with my family. But I made a commitment to come out here and talk to this camera at least a couple of times a week. So that is what I'm doing, hoping that there is some value that I can provide. I'm going to put it out there and hope that it has some ears that find it, that need it. I don't really place a lot of fear in it not working. I hope that it finds people who might be searching or feeling lost, and I am happy to be here and discuss what worked for me. And I got to tell you, it worked really well for me. It's not magic. It's hard work and learning how to use your brain and learning how to do things for yourself. It's, just go back in time a couple hundred years. Whatever you would have had to do then, just do that, or come up with a good proxy. I mean, you're not going out and killing food necessarily. I mean, maybe you are, but I go to the grocery store is where I go to get food. So I don't get to feel that victory of killing the food and bringing it back and getting the celebration and having the feast. So I've got to find other ways to contribute and provide so that I feel like I am doing a good job and bringing things to the table. And of course, you know, there's financial stuff that we all have to deal with. We all go have a job, but there's also just stuff that needs to be done around the house. And I feel like we've all gotten very distracted and looking here and there and everywhere for things to do and things to entertain us. But we've lost track of things we need to do to keep our cars in order, to keep our house in order, to fix things, to build things. And that is the stuff that can be very fulfilling if you frame it correctly in your mind. And so when I say that I've learned some things that have helped me out, I'll give you a shortcut to the end. It's living like you were alive 100, 200 years ago, and realizing the blessing of the comforts that we have currently. And so, you know, we're all sitting here in this cush world and can't do much for ourselves. We're reliant on the system that was built. And if anything goes sideways, we're going to kind of be screwed in that system because, you know, resources are going to dry up and then people aren't going to know what to do. And so I just encourage everyone to get healthy, get strong, and start learning how to do things and make that research for how to do things your new hobby, because it is going to be boring as heck at first, because you're used to watching all this very entertaining content, and then you start going to watch this one person sitting in front of their workshop, and you're like, oh, this is kind of dry, this is kind of boring. But that's the stuff you need. That's what you need to learn. That's what you need to do. You need to get over your fear, start working on some things, start taking apart some things. Of course, don't screw up anything that you need to survive, but get creative, start practicing with something small, and then you can build up. I mean, I've been working on vehicles now and getting into some pretty adventurous things, just maintenance wise. I mean, I'm not building anything fancy, just taking care of what I've got, And so those are the things that have fulfilled me and led me to a place where I'm feeling pretty happy and pretty desiring to go in and being in community with my family. And so I'll leave it right there for now. I would love to help anybody who's out there and lost. I'm definitely here for that mission. I would love to be a part of that. I'm take it or leave it, to be honest, because I've got great other things to do if nobody's interested. So, if I get no views on this after my goal commitment period is met, I may just bail out and be like, well, I guess that was a cool thing, but nobody was really interested. That's kind of what I expect, to be honest, with all this other entertainment. How interesting is it to just get good at being a good person and learning how to do stuff? Is that interesting still? It certainly is to me. And so that's what I've done. You're welcome to come along on this journey. I'd love to have you, and we'll see where it goes. But for now, I'm going to peace out and go inside and enjoy my family. Nice talking to you. See ya.